Hey everybody, this is a Review Revolution coming at you. I have to apologize, it's been a couple of days. I got a shipment from MattyCollector.com with a couple of Master Universe Classic figures that I've just been really caught up in, and I'll be reviewing those later within the next day or so. But first, I want to go ahead and get this video done. This is the DC Universe Wave 6 Killer Moth. And the reason I wanted to get him done was, well, man, he's just a pretty unique old kind of guy. I mean, he's not a very impressive villain, really, but man, to strut around town in an outfit like that, especially as the villain, that's got to take some nerve. I mean, it's no wonder he's a Batman bad guy, right? He's got to have some grundies to do that. But look at the figure in the pack. Nothing too unusual. It's just the DC Universe logo. Killer Moth inside. The 7 panels for 5 characters. And then, of course, the title and the Collect and Connect, which is the torso piece of Calabac. On the back, we've got the other figures. Captain Marvel, as we've already done. The Recovery Suit Superman. Killer Moth. We've got Hawkman and Mr. Miracle yet to go. And then we'll have Calabac. Looking forward to him. The bio. Drury Walker was an unsuccessful career criminal who took on an even more unsuccessful career as a costume villain. What he became was a joke, both to his fellow criminals and crime fighters alike. Disgusted with being laughed at, Killer Moth made a deal with the demon Neuron for greater power in exchange for his soul. Power that changed him into the fierce half-man, half-insect, all-mad Chevrex. Okay. First appearance, Batman number 63, March 1951. Real name, Drury Walker. Occupation, career criminal. Base of operations, Gotham. Special ability, suit allows flight, cocoon gun, and razor sonar waves. So, I guess he's actually a super villain after all. I have to admit, I was not aware. Now, like a lot of folks, I guess we're probably more familiar with Killer Moth and his Teen Titans appearances, which he looks very cool. The Brave and the Bold, which I think is probably a little bit truer to his real story, as far as starting off as kind of a dope, and then ultimately becoming a pretty badass. One key thing, or one nifty thing, was that I believe it was in 1962. I'm going to put the video on the side, the link to the video. But when the Batgirl was introduced to the Adam West, Batman series, she was introduced in a 10-15 minute pilot that apparently never made it on the airwaves. But it was her introduction to the series, and Killer Moth actually was the villain. So if you like to see that video, I'm going to have a link on the side to show it to you. But otherwise, that's the look at Killer Moth in the pack. We'll take a moment, pop him open, take a look at him, and have some fun. So be right back. Alright everybody, I'm about halfway through the unpacking, got him off the card, got the outside bubble taken off, and actually while I was doing this, I kind of thought, this is kind of a good time to kind of show this. For anyone who's collecting these figures, you probably know that if the character comes with a cape, Captain Marvel, Superman, Batman, the usual suspects, you know that this inside plastic, the inside blister, that the character is kind of mounted on, the cape is mounted kind of outside the plastic, so the kind of plastic is in between the body and the cape. With Killer Moth here, the wings, which are much harder. I mean, these are like plastic spoons, plastic knives. I mean, this is not the soft plastic that you expect, from a cape or something like that. But the way this is, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it runs along the top, right above the wings, and then sort of makes kind of this rectangle shape down his rear, and then back around. Which is kind of interesting because these don't really fold out. They don't pop out. So, this is going to be kind of a strain to pop through this rectangle that he's sitting in. That's a drawback in the packaging itself, and the fact that they packaged him the same way they would someone with a cape without having the material that's the same as a cape. And in time, if these became brittle, if you left your figure in pack, and in time they became brittle, I would not be a bit surprised if they would break as you're trying to get him out. So just a FYI to anybody who's got this figure and expecting to keep him mint on card, this kind of plastic, like a plastic spoon or a plastic fork, will get brittle over time, and you may find it very, very tricky to get him out of the pack without it snapping. So I'm going to go ahead and get him the rest of the way out. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and get Calla back out now. Looking pretty good. But we'll take a moment and we'll get the rest of Killer Moth out and get a better look at him. So be right back. Alright, we've got Killer Moth out of the pack, and plenty of damage done to the plastic that he came in, but none to the figure. So, good deal. He wasn't too far gone, or not far gone at all. Actually, he actually looks pretty good. As a matter of fact, you can call me crazy, but I think actually I like Killer Moth probably the best out of any of the figures so far. He's just an all-around interesting-looking dude. His sculpt is not really any different than the sculpt that you have from, the body of Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Black Manta, even the Lex Luthor. They came in the 5-pack, not counting his straps and little canisters. It's just a regular, body. But the paint job on him, that paint job just catches the eye, and he's just a really, really unique looking character. Nothing that I would be necessarily terrified of, and not necessarily something that strikes fear in the heart of anything, but definitely one that I kind of, it's just fun to look at and fun to have out. Looking at the face first off, I want to kind of get into several things. I don't have a lot of time. Looking inside the helmet, you can see he has his red eyes, which are painted real well with no overpaints or spray issues. The legs, on the other hand, you can see on the peg here on the inside that his legs are actually made of the same purple plastic as his chest, and then the colors on the legs are just sprayed on. And on the back, there are several examples of some issues where spray issues. Nothing really terrible, but I think it would have been better if they just molded the legs out of one or the other colors and then just sprayed the other color across it. Oh well. In the way of his articulation, his head does go up and down, full rotation. The arm goes out, turns, twist of the bicep, elbow, wrist. We all know that. Just like Superman, his crunch is kind of loose. That's a little disappointing because he's a new figure. It is kind of loose. Has a twist at the waist. Leg comes up, out, cut thigh, knee, and ankle. Really, the only real issue is here on the crunch. As I already talked about, his wings are kind of this hard plastic, and they're just a translucent kind of color. They're solid, clear plastic, no details, no texturing, nothing on it. Which, as I mentioned with Superman, if he had had his bandoliers and straps and pouches, would have made it more interesting. Same thing with Killer Moth. If he had had a little detail in the wings, certainly would have helped the figure overall in his appearance. But I like him as he is. I think he looks pretty cool as he is. There's a bit of an issue there on the boot, and I think it's the same kind of stuff that's on his glove too. So I don't quite know what that is, but I'm sure that's just with just my figure. In the way of his accessories, he does come with his cocoon gun, which again, like Calabeck's club, is made in China. It'll either fit in his holster, Well, it fits, trust me. Or in his hand. And his holster fits like so. He also comes with the torso of Calabac, which again we already got kind of a look at. It's very cool looking. Pretty soon we'll be able to go ahead and wrap him up. But for now, this has been the Review Revolution, taking a look at the DC Universe Wave 6 Killer Moth. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. Hope you had fun, and see you next time. Bye-bye.